Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another family edition of Awesomecalls Trading.com. Right now, we're just kind of in lull of the day still. A couple things that we are trading short QLYS off the 8250. I have a feeling it's going to come down to 80 before the close. So I want you to keep an eye on that while I'm talking to you. So if you were in the room and I was doing a webinar, uh, my gut feelings by the time I'm done with the webinar will be 80.50 to 80. Okay, so just so you know, because I always like to give a trade when I'm talking on the webinar, and then docu to me. I still have a sell order at piece at 54, and I'm just trying to get it a little bit more to the upside. We were all long here at 53. They held the base really nice at the 53 level, just a tad under, and it's 53.63. So it's a nice trade here. And I gave this one to my friend Joel. He wanted this one, so giving him something to trade. Let me see. We had a great, incredible morning this morning, to say the least. It was a lot of fun. You know, it was interesting. Um, you know, as a chat room owner, I at times I tend to take a look at just to see what others are saying out there, and some that own rooms, some that just trade stocks. And you know what, it blows me away the amount of inexperienced people that own rooms and get your funds and get your money, and yet their comments in the morning are like, nothing to trade, doesn't look like a good morning. And here we're taking VRNS for 8 points yesterday. I mean, and everyone just having a blast. And then we did no whatever on Monday, and today, say no more. We delivered again, and this time it was QLYS. And and again, when you're with a room that really can't identify really good plays and ideas, it's because it's not that they're not good traders. I'm not trying to take away from that. They're just not experienced traders. And so what happens is when you join a room like that, you become what they are. You follow what I'm saying? You become what they are. If they're limited with their ability, they're limiting you and your learning ability to learn and to be a significant trader, an overall great trader, because you're limiting your ability to learn things. And that's the true nature of different chat rooms. If you go into a pump and dump room, he's going to tell you this stock just found cancer, it's going to pop, and then they're going to fade it. That's all they're good for. Nothing more. Some people are just good for the longs. Then you get the ones that been trading a few years, and then they've had a good year or two in the bull market, and they go, okay, I'm going to run my own room now because I'm so good. And then they'll just trade one stock. And then they'll trash anybody that has 10 or 12 ideas to trade for a chat room. Everyone, the issues with people today when you're running a chat room is they hate what they don't understand. Okay? And they don't respect what they don't understand. And for me, as a reversal of that, I don't understand how you could be taking someone's hard-earned money, whether it's 150, 200, 180, and say to them, there's really nothing to trade today. So sit patient and wait for something. What are you going to wait for? You know what you're waiting for? I'll tell you what you're waiting for. When you see comments like that, be patient and wait. You know what you're waiting for? You're waiting for Awesome Calls Trading. That's really what you're waiting for. So that's because you're just really limited, because you don't have enough sources and enough understanding of what the market's doing. Because again, so what I'm going to show you today is the many ideas that we did in our great room, which every day I provide 12 ideas, and I'm going to break them down for you. I'm going to pick about 7 of them that we did. We were about, I think, 85-90% today. We were trading AVLR, Cron, Excel, Baby, CRTO, Docu, Trip, QLYS, TWLO, Shop, Netflix, and Activision. So I would like to start by just kind of going over QLYS. Okay, so let's start with QLYS. Now this one had an earnings miss. Okay, it had an earnings miss. All right, and this morning on that miss, the stock had gapped down from $97 all the way down to 79 bucks. So that's about an $18 hit, give or take. And so what we were doing this morning is the first thing you have to do on a stock like this, especially on a trade that you really want easy money, you have to look at what was happening in the last 20, 30 days prior to the earnings. And first off, you've got a lot of people that were buying into it. In my opinion, they were actually shorting into the earnings, to be honest with you. I think these were just massive short sellers that were shorting into the earnings. And then, so what happens is when you're down 15, 16, 17, $18 a share, the very first thing that's going to want to happen with all these people is they're going to want to cover. And we had a double bottom really defined this morning right here, roughly around 79 a share. So that told me we probably weren't going to get any lower than that. So my whole idea on this trade was just to go long at 80 in pre-market. And that's what I told everyone to do when I walked into the chat room. And my goal was to walk the stock up at least, I think I made a comment on the stock that the stock would probably push to $86 a share. All right, so I want you to see that's what I saw. That's what I put out. I wanted to go to $86 a share, and I wanted you to long it at 79 to 80. If the stock pulled to 75, 76, I didn't want you to worry about that. That wasn't going to be a big deal. I just wanted you to go long the stock and get your money. And just like VRNS ran 5 or 6 points, I felt this stock would be just an absolute stellar move. And so as you can see, again, so we open up the morning, and here we go. Ding, 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 ding. Pre-market, you're long at 80. Ding, 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 ding. And I said 86 would probably top it off and then sell it off. And the stock hit $85.80 for a solid move. And so in our chat room, okay, yes, you could have traded Facebook and NVIDIA and all the basic stuff for a point or 80 cents and say, oh, look how great we did. But when you're trading equity or options and you walk in and your moderator goes, this is going to pop 8 points out of the gate. It's pretty exciting, or 6 points out of the gate. It's a really exhilarating feeling to be in at 100 or 200 shares, even 250 or 400 or 500, and then watch it just wallop all the way to $86 a share. And I said 86 and it hit 85.80. So I missed it by about 20 cents, give or take, on the trade. And the stock has already starting to come back down again. So that was a great 6-point trade, or 5.5. That was really an amazing trade. So I really like that one. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. The next trade that we had on our books to trade today was a stock called Trip. Now, Trip Advisors didn't do very, very well. And they popped after hours, which was probably the first reaction was the wrong reaction. And I was looking at the last 20 days how they had bought into the stock. But the stock disappointed when the earnings came out. So my main focus was on Trip, I really wanted to pop the stock, and I felt looking at the pre-market sitting at 57, and you're already gapping down. If you look at the gap down, you're already gapping down from $60 close. You're already gapping down, 3-4 points, and you could see pretty much a defined bottom that was trying to set in pre-market. So I told everyone in the chat room, look for the stock to probably most likely pop at the open to $59 a share. When it hits 59, look to short the stock and take it down. And so that was the trade this morning. So if you look at the pre-market notes on Trip, I would like the stock to hit 58.75 or more, top it off, and fade it back down to $55. Now, again, I want you to understand something about Awesome Calls Trading. Okay, there are people that consider me to be probably one of the best traders in the world. I get that a lot. And I still have a lot to learn as a trader. Every day I'm learning something in front of these great traders in the room. I do consider myself probably one of the elite traders that can see things before they even happen. I have a gift, and my gift is the ability to read a stock um, hours before the bell even opens. And I think I do it very, very well. So when I write something down like this isn't written down as it's happening. This is written down 30, 40 minutes, and typically an hour before the market even opens. I come in at 10 minutes to 6 and start writing this stuff down because the thoughts are already written in my head. They're already down on paper. I've already got my notes, and all I'm doing is just kind of reiterating my own notes because I find this stuff at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I want you to really take a look at this stock and how I put it out. 58.75 plus at the open, so it's about a $59, and I want it to go to 55. And again, written down way before the market opened, right? So if you take a look at it and you go ding, 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 and there's the 59 at the open, and there is the $55 at 55.41. You see how simple that was? So if you're trading Facebook or Nvidia or something for 80 cents, hey, all power to you. But you can come into a room like this and just massive 3 or 4 points on a trade at a cheaper price and make almost, 4 times your money. And you know why? Because we know where the stock's going to go before it even moves. That's what makes us so great in here. And every trader that participates in these morning plays benefits from this. I'm going to give you another one that you're going to kind of look at and just kind of freak out. It's called CRTO. Okay. Now this particular stock was an earnings win. As you can tell, here's the earnings, and it popped to 30.85. Okay. In the morning, it hit like at $30 a share. Well, I wanted to short this. You know why? Because I had just a ton of bag holders. And what's a bag holder? Bag holders are one. And you know how I always try to teach people that they bought into the earnings? This one, they were holding it into the earnings. There's a difference between buying into earnings and holding it into earnings. We had a tremendous amount of $25, $26, probably call buying, shares, whatever, being held at these areas. So what this tells me when I read a chart like this, I'm going to teach everyone something new, is when I see just a steady stream of buying like this and not buying into the earnings, but more or less holding into the earnings, this gives me a significant sell-off. So what I do is I anticipate what the pop will do at the open, and then I get a nice short. And that's really what I'm aiming. And a lot of people ask me all the time, like, how did you know? How did you know? How did you know? How did you know it would go to 31 and fade to 27? How do you know this? It's studying. I can't stress it enough. When you're at this level of a trader, it's constant studying, observing, watching, looking, seeing through the stock, understanding how the earnings work, reading the report, reading the significance of the upside guidance, downside guidance. Is it in line? This is what I excel at. And so I want you to see what I put in writing for the entire chat room. I mean, everyone had the same opportunity to nail this stock. It's right here. CRTO. I want it to push at the open to 31, and then I want to short it to 27. That's it. That's your trade. That's your call. That's the trade. You don't have to do anything else. There's nothing else to do. Okay, just follow the map, follow the puzzle. All right, I filled in the blanks. All you have to do is execute. So what happens? So go to the stock, go with it, and there you go. I said 31 at the open, hit 30.85, missed it by 15 cents, and I said it would go down in pre-market, in writing, to $27 a share. Stock hit 27.10. So a lot of you, this is magic. This is insane. Who does this? You know, could you imagine if another chat room was able to do something like this and predict the movement, put it in writing? They would literally sell you a shit ton of DVDs and selling videos because it'd be probably the first time they even came to something close to this. Yet this is number 6 or 7 of 12. That's the kind of room you're in. This is expected on every item I write down. Not some, every. Okay? So I want you to take a look at another one. This was a favorite in the room, and a lot of people after hours did very, very well. I want you to look at a 2-day chart. Okay? And what happened was yesterday I made the decision, after doing my research for everyone in the chat room, I made the decision that out of all the earnings that I liked, this is the one I was going to play out. I felt that Excel would probably beat. I gave the risk and the reward, and the risk was $1 to the downside, 2 to 3 to the upside. Many traders after hours took the call, and I want you to see right here. They went long before the earnings came out. And again, this is just AJ being AJ. All right, I had to read into a lot of things, what my experience told me, how a stock would react, what I expected. I mean, there's just so many entities when you, because I want you to understand, this isn't just day trading. This is way beyond day trading. To predict that an earnings beat will happen and telling a chat room of this size and then people buying into the stock before they even come out, and then to watch the stock pop after hours all the way to 23.45 from 21.50. Imagine that for a second. Just imagine. And then this morning, I just told everyone, watch the sell-off because you got a ton of bag holders and they're going to dump it. And then we started buying with the great Brad, fire trader, at 21.50 and under. I got a kind of a crappy fill. And then we started selling on the way up. Why? Because there's a lot of bag holders on this particular stock. Okay. So that was, we'll do a 2-day chart on that because it was an earnings play. I want to show you another stock. It's called Baby. Okay. Baby. I don't know if you ever traded Baby. I trade it only on earnings and on upgrades, but I don't trade it normally during the day or I don't really look for something like this. But I really like this stock a lot, and I'll tell you why. Baby really disappointed on earnings, just horrific. I mean, their guidance was they blew it. So the stock came all the way down to 23. Now, on a stock like Baby, it's pretty significant to be down $7 a share. So, and then I had the money call coming an hour later, about an hour and a half later at about 8 o'clock my time. So what I needed to do was to prepare the traders to trade the stock. So in pre-market, I looked at these little lines here, as you can see, and I made a call to go long. I said the stock would most likely pop at the open towards, I believe I said 28. I'll double check. Then it will come down and sell into the call. And then when the call begins, you have to go long the call, this is what happens. See, the call starts and you long the call. This is what we teach in the greatest chat room in the world. Okay, this way it prevents my great short sellers in here to cover their stock and then wait for the call to finish. Call finishes an hour later, they can resume the short. Okay, depending on what the outcome was. And it has to be laid out perfectly. These traders in here are very on top of things, and they read. If they say, AJ, where's it going to pop to? Hey, should hit around 27, 28 out of the gate. Should come back down to 25 and under. Conference call starts, go long it, and then we'll go from there. So let's take a look how it played out on writing. Baby was up here. Baby. The stock would pop at the open to 26 or more, and then fade back off. So the most important thing was to long. See how I indicate long? And if it dropped to 21 to add. So this way it tells the trader in the room, okay, so I can take long here, AJ, at 23? Yes. And if it drops, don't worry. No, because it will pop to 26. You're going to make good money on it. Don't worry. Okay, cool. That's all a trader needs to know in here. Now, as you look at the stock and how it traded, if you would have bought when I told you to, down in the 23s in pre-market down here, right? Or 24s, you could have got the nice quick pop. In this case, it went all the way to 28. So it actually exceeded 2 points to the upside. And on 1 or 2 candles, you could have really sold at $27 a share. I mean, it was just a magnificent trade. And then it had one more pop in it, and then it sold right off, right into the call. A really nice play on baby. Now, my top pick today was interesting because I wanted to nibble. I nibbled long at the 45 level, but they had an earnings this morning, and they actually after hours. But this was just this is a swing idea, a magnificent call. But more importantly, the analyst just nailed it. I mean, I want you to see what stood out on this morning for me as a trader that I live for. Here is my fly on the wall through my news scan. I want you to see JP Morgan's comments this morning on this stock, AVLR. You see it? And look what they put. They raised the stock to $64 a share from 38. The stock was sitting at 43.75 yesterday's close, and it was sitting there at 44.50 to 45. So I took a little bit, and I said, most likely the stock will pop to 50, probably sell off, but over time, the stock is about a $55 stock now. So the thing was, when you're in a great room like this, the stock will actually move pretty fast. I mean, because everybody wants it. And it was a magnificent play. And if you want to see the stock, when you get a $64 from a tier one firm from 38, believe me, and then they're all over this. And what their keyword was, the December quarter is a significant catalyst for both the company and the stock. Let me tell you something. When you're an analyst of this magnitude, a Citi, a B of A, okay, Goldman Sachs, a JP Morgan, and you make a statement like that to your investors as a day trader, as an AJ trader, it is the most exciting words to hear because all it's going to do is go up, 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 up. And if you don't like shorting stocks, this would have been perfect for you. This would have been perfect for you. Okay. So basically, it was our number one pick, and I'll show you how I wrote it right here. Where is it? Gapping up $1.50. I think the stock pops to 50. I think it swings to 52 to 55. If it pulls at all down to 45, load up. But that was the call. I was thinking 52 in a day or two, maybe 55 by Friday. I want you to see what the stock did. It's just absolutely insane. And here it is. If you went in pre-market, and I tweeted this out right around here. I mean, there's the fills right here this morning. You can see them right there. And it doesn't take much. There's a 1,500 fill there. See here? 1,000 shares. If you're up pre-market, this is what you get. $45 right there. See it? And you can execute at 4 o'clock in the morning with TD. So I want you to see what happened. And there was no risk on the trade. What was your risk? What was your risk? There's no risk. You're buying here. What's your risk? $1? A gap fill of 80 cents for such a significant upside move? By the time the bell rang, it was already at 51.50, and they already hit 52. Nothing you can do. It's the number one pick. And I think over time it'll be a $55 stock. It was just absolutely stunning the way we played AVLR. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to give you another one that's in play right now. It's called Docu. And I don't think any of you even trade Docu. I like Docu, I like Shop, and I like TWLO. Which one do you want to do, AJ? Let me see. They were all good. But Docu is just your basic run-of-the-mill upgrade call. Go long at 53, take it to 54, sell into it, go to 54.50, and be done with it. I mean, if you're bored, it's a great trade right here. And you can see this morning in pre-market, I did call it to go to 53 long, and the stock would go back up to 54. And just absolutely based it. Beautiful trade, and I'll show you the notes on it. Docu right here. Go long, fill the gap to 53, go long, take it to 55. And we're not getting to get 55 today, but we'll definitely get the 54 through it. So that was a good one. But I do want to share one more. TWLO, I wanted to go to 109, hit 105. That's a really good trade. And shop, I wanted to short at 181 and take it down to 177. I'm going to go with TWLO. And the reason is because I was really on point on the short side. And I wanted traders to be aware that if it broke 112, that the stock would go to 109 or and under. And that's really what that stood out about the call was I kept telling traders the stock has already hit 109. So if it breaks 112, the stock will come down and go below 109. And I think that's the significance of the call. And I just kind of want you to see the power of our room. Just because I was speaking about ALVR, you see what happens? The stock already ran up a point. When you're in the greatest chat room in the world, and you know that you have 14 chat rooms that are in here all day long, because all they do is listen to my voice, watch our charts, copy and paste, put it in their discords, put it in their rooms. They're doing call buying, you know, they're trying to keep their subscribers happy because they don't know what the fuck to trade. I mean, they're stupid over there. So they'd rather be in here and just sit tight and just wait for a call. This way they can look important, keep their subs happy. So just me talking about it at $50.40, it's already up a point. You see that? This all happened just because I'm talking. All right, let's go to TWLL. So this was all over the place after earnings. They missed, they did, they guided, they did this, they did that, whatever. All right. So what I was looking at is the pre-market, and it just kind of ran a little bit on a short squeeze to 118. And I was really telling traders, hey, I was short at 118. Give it room to 120, which is about right here. I wanted, and just shred this thing down. I wanted 112 initially, but if it broke the 112, I was saying 109. And here's the 109 level. And it ended up going all the way to 105. I mean, once you start getting that sell-off, you just let it be. You trim your positions on the way down. The most important thing in this entire trade is right here, right? To short at 118, 116, and just take it down to 112, because that's a 4-point trade right there. You're already guaranteed. But what made this stock so really nice, it gave more. And I really like stocks that end up paying more to the clients, because even if I get a lot of traders that tend to miss it or hesitate a little too much, and even if you hesitate, you're still going to make money on the trade. And so I liked that call a lot. And if you want to look at the shop call, you can see same kind of almost the same formality. I was shorting at 181, room to 183 at the open, scale and short and take it down. My thought process was 175, 176, and you could just see within just a blink, probably a good 10 minutes of the stock, it ran down 8 points, 7, 8 points. And I really love providing great ideas like this to the great traders in the room. This way they can come in with 50 shares, 100 shares, 25 shares, 30 shares, because the most important thing for a trader is just they need to understand why a stock is going to come down. Why is it going to fill a gap? Why is it going doing a certain way? Because the more you understand behind the move, that's where you make your money. I want you to listen to that for a second. The more you understand the move behind the move itself, why a stock is going to go up or a stock going to go down, that's where you capitalize the cash. That's where you make your money. That's when you become a really good trader, because what's happening now is you're believing in the idea that stock is going to go down, and with that comes size. When you look at a Janny and a Dark Side and a Fire and a Dave the Trader, and you look at some of these great traders, B trades in the room, and one of the things that I identify with them is they size in a little bit more now, and they're more patient. because I watch them trade all day long, and they're pros. But it's just like they know when a stock is going to peak and when it's coming down, so they'll size in, and that's really where they make their bread and butter. It's the same thing with me. When I know a stock is going to hit a certain point and then come down and just flat out just get annihilated, you got to trust my judgment, right? So when your new trader comes in and they observe something like this, it takes them time to take it in. But once they really start to get why a stock is going to work a certain way, that's when size comes in. Now you can take 200 shares with 36,000 buying power, 250 shares, 150 shares, 300 shares. And then when it pulls, 300 on 4 points is $1,200 in a blink if you know where the stock is going to go. And one of the things I have to say before I close out is I believe when you run a chat room, especially one as great as awesomecallstrading.com, and then you have a large audience of 13, 14 chat rooms that pay your service and then copy and paste everything, you got a large audience. And the reason why these rooms continue to stay in here is simply the fact that I give a variety of ideas. And not just for them, but mostly for the people in the room. And so I like to give um, a bunch of ideas. And not every person has the same amount in an account. Um, when you're with a room that says all you need is one trade and one stock and one idea and that's it, or maybe two or three and that's it, again, they're limiting you as a trader to grow. Because you know why? They haven't grown yet. They've isolated themselves. This is all they see. Their mind isn't expanded. All right. Imagine, you know, being able to trade a $10 stock, a $5 stock, a 30, a 40, a 60, an 80, a 100, a 200, a 300. And when you have traders of all size and ranges and accounts, everyone wants something different. The key thing for me as an owner of Awesome Calls Trading is to make sure that no matter what I give, each idea is on point and each idea will make money. And each idea has range. So this way, if a trader goes after baby and it's a $20 stock because their account is only a certain size, they can maximize it by trading 2, 3, 4, 500 shares and get 2 points and make $1,000. If somebody else has, got enough to buy a $20 stock or a $30 stock or $40 stock, once you start getting into the hundreds and 200s, you're actually trading like anywhere from 50, 100, 250, 300 shares, 400 shares, and maybe 500 shares max. Let's be realistic. But as your account is 15 grand, 18 grand, 20 grand, you got margin money, you're usually trading a 30, 40, 50, $60 stock. Those are the ones you can really capitalize. And if your trader in the room is telling you this will go 6 points, automatically you're thinking, I could take 200 shares and make 4 points and make 800. I'm done for the day. And remember, $250 a day, all right, on a dollar pull is basically what, 1,250 a week, right? 1,250 a week is 5,000 a month, right? So if you're doing $500 a day and $2,500 a week, you're making 10,000. Now a lot of people can make money, can pay their bills on 10,000 a month. A part-time trader with $20,000 in the account can make $500 a day in here and be done. And we do it all the time. But before you get to those levels of the confidence, you have to understand the movement of the stock. And that's where the education process comes in this room. Every day I spend countless hours and moments just going over and over. And what I'm really doing is I'm taking the trader's mind and I'm taking over their mind through the day here for 6, 7, 8 hours. And I'm just going in there. I'm getting in their head. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is why. This is why. This is why. And when you embed that in an up and coming trader, that's all they see. They visualize it. That gives them the confidence and the ability to make money and more money. It excites them. The most important thing in a room is to be able to learn. Learn to either one day you want to run your own room learn to be able to teach others, but most importantly, learn so you can make a living. That is the most important thing for yourself as an individual trader. You want to make a living doing this, and you want to be happy. Okay? You don't need to stay in front of the computer all day with me. There's no reason for it. All right? You make your money in the morning, go have fun the rest of the afternoon. If you're an afternoon trader or part-time trader, great. Come in for an hour or two. I'll find you something. All right. If you can only trade after hours, I'll find you earnings or something that's going to gap up. I usually can call the market what it's going to do the next day anyway. So with all that being said, there's doesn't matter how much time you have yourself available, I will find you something to trade. Okay. So anyway, I do hope you enjoyed today's pre-market webinar and how we traded it and the live webinar today. And again, you can go to Discord anytime you want. Talk to the amazing traders in our room. There's I think we're over 766 members in there. There's always 200 of people online. They'll talk about the trades, what they did wrong. They'll help you. Dark Side, this is run by Dark Side. And a lot of the mods are in there. This is for you as a trader to just go in there and be able to just like, hey, how did you trade that? What did you do? What did you see? What did he say that made you convinced? I mean, it's a learning process, and that's why we have this. And if you ever want to just follow, especially if you're following me in the morning, I like to give some ideas in the morning or let you know what I'm working on and what I see and to get excited. So this is my Twitter feed, AJTrader7. And it's all business on the feed. It's always about either I'm going to motivate you, or I'm going to find you a trade to make you money, or I'm going to give you the recap of what we did today. So it was a joy to trade with you, and I'm happy that we got to talk today, and I hope you enjoyed this webinar. And so be good, be well, and I will see you all tomorrow. If you want to join us to be a part of the room, just click right here in the corner. And it's 25 for a day, 100 for a week, and you convert to a month. We give you all the money back, and you're a monthly, or you just click it for a monthly, $6, $6.75 a day, and it's worth it. Trust me. The education alone. It's like in here, every day you're going to college, and we have what? We have 9 professors in here, and I'm just one of the professors, and we're teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching. And that's really what it is. You can go to college, or you can call the ACT college. Okay? It's your choice. Either way, I'm going to make you money. All right? Take care. Be well. Bye-bye.